Max, are you surprised by the Colts beating the Chiefs?
I thought the Chiefs would win, but I can't say like I'm shocked by it or anything like that. People forget the Colts, before the season ever started, were considered by many. There's a difference between saying you're the best team and you're the most well-rounded team. So the Colts were like 1 through 53 considered maybe the best roster. So that means that you're not only good up front, I don't mean your line, I mean like with your starters, but you have depth too. Everyone can play football on that team, was at least what we were told and what it appeared to be. And, you know, that was the consensus. And with Andrew Luck, wow, they're Super Bowl contenders. The issue with the Colts was that Luck got hurt. But by the way, even then, when you thought about quarterback health in terms of how strong you are there, maybe the Colts were number one because backing up Luck was Brissett. Well, okay, that's why you have a really good young ascending backup as opposed to just like a guy who can get you through a few weeks because you really want to position yourself in the event. Well, they did. Okay, so the unthinkable happened, and they lose Luck permanently, apparently, when he retires. And then their young quarterback, who Belichick drafted, by the way, he takes the job and is dealing with a really good roster. Now, look, the reason I really thought, no, the Chiefs are going to win, the Colts, in addition to everything else, are banged up. So you're up against a superior team, and you're banged up, and they're at home, right? So, like, all right, you're going to lose this one. But I can't say, wow, I'm shocked the Colts won. They can run the ball. They got a really good team.
I'm shocked, and I'm shocked for a couple of reasons. Number one, let's understand what transpired yesterday. It wasn't just about, again, you know, you talk about the Kansas City Chiefs giving up some yardage against the run. Obviously, the Indianapolis Colts can run with the football. Mac had 29 carries, 132 yards, about 4.6 yards a carry. We get all of that. That's been an Achilles heel dating back to last year from the Kansas City Chiefs. We get all of that. And obviously, if you want to beat the Kansas City Chiefs led by Patrick Mahomes, there's a formula to that. Keep him off the damn field. Move the chains, run the football, keep him on the sidelines. That's the best way to tell, other than stepping on his ankle numerous times and getting his ankle messed up. Here's what we have to pay attention to with the Colts. Number one, their offensive line is big time. Just no doubt about that. Their offensive line, it's amazing because what it does is it highlights Gregson and what he did when he was the executive for the Indianapolis Colts and how negligent he was in his duties, which is why he's no longer there. Chris Ballard comes there. He's clearly not making the same mistakes. But what I love what I'm seeing, Dan, from the Indianapolis Colts, they went after Mahomes, and sometimes they sent four. And you got guys that showed up, especially Justin Houston. He obviously had something to prove playing against his former team. You had him, you had Moore, you had Stewart. All of these guys had sacks, and so they were in Mahomes' face. If you can get in his face, particularly when only pressuring with four, that really, really sets the tempo. I didn't anticipate that that's something that they would be able to do against Kansas City. If you're talking about neutralizing Patrick Mahomes, what's the two things to do other than keeping him on the sideline? You pressure him, but still having enough dudes in the secondary in order to defend against his, his sniper-like capabilities as a passer of the football. If you can apply that pressure, but you don't have to blitz all the damn time to do it, then that sends a message to Kansas City, and they certainly were not the same looking at how the Colts attacked them.
The impression that I'm left with is the Chiefs and the Rams last year, let's take it, the offenses were so high-powered that anything you got on defense, particularly for the Rams, which is I thought, they could win a Super Bowl, is like, oh, my God, it puts them over the top. But when you really look at the teams that are stout against the run, that can do things both sides of the ball, in the NFC, you're looking at the Saints. That's, to me, what really separated them. They can stop the run. And now, and the Pats with that defense now, the Chiefs are not that kind of team. And they really haven't been over the last couple of years. They're the kind of team that's going to get you with their offense.
Sure.
Well,
so if you can run the ball, you can run the ball.
But did we see the blueprint?
No, the blueprint was started, last year.
Well, let me say this. Let
Pats.
me throw this by y'all. Understand that Patrick Mahomes comes onto the scene last year as a starter. The least amount of points they scored in any game throughout all 16 games last year was 26 that they dropped on Arizona. It was the week before they went to L.A. and lost when they scored 51 points.
Yeah.
It was 54-51. I was at that game. It's the greatest experience I ever had at an NFL game in my life. It was unbelievable, okay? But the week before that, they scored 26 against Arizona. This year, 40, 28, 33, 34. 13 points. Patrick Mahomes last night was held to the lowest point total of his young, illustrious career. we have to pay attention to the fact that the Indianapolis Colts held this man to 13
Could
points.
it be that also it's catching up with him? He doesn't have his number one receiver. He doesn't have his number one running back anymore. He's gone from the team.
I mean, yeah, that's part of it, right? I mean, I go back to Sammy Watkins getting hurt last night was a big, because then you even saw the Colts go, all right, yeah, now we will. But listen.
And you can point to his ankle injury, too.
Yeah, I mean, and that was all part of it. But that's why, to me, like, this is shocking that the Colts had the courage to go, all right, here we come. Like, we're going to.
Ball control is what you do against a high.
But that's such an.
Offense.
But that, yeah, of course. But you know, everyone knows that. Like, yeah, we want to hit them and we want to run the football. The Chiefs don't care if you run the football on them because they think they're going to score 35.
Also, want to throw this by to both of y'all. Remember what Coach Frank Reich said after the game. He was talking about how he has not seen his team this confident and this gung-ho about going up against the team. So they come in there last night. Clearly, it ain't your offense that feels that way. And I'm not saying you can't score against the Chiefs. I'm saying clearly that he was talking about his defense. You're talking about a defense that was anxious to go up against Patrick Mahomes. Why would that be? There could only be one reason. It can't be your secondary. It can't be that, all right, we're going to drop back in coverage.
They have depth in the secondary.
I understand that, but I'm saying.
And up front.
But I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is usually, correct me if I'm wrong, usually when a team is incredibly confident about going up against an elite quarterback, it's for one reason and one reason only. We believe we can get to him.
Get to him. Get home.
We believe we can get to him.
And with all that said,
and that's what I'm saying.
With all that said, there was Patrick Mahomes at the end of the game with a chance, like if they recover an onside kick, right? Like
because the defense.
Yeah, but even in that situation, like, oh my God, you're at home and da-da-da, and you're held to this many points. Still, Patrick Mahomes is orchestrating late drive and giving you a chance.
Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.